As both Vivek and Arun spoke before me, Ladakh is the sort of mecca of adventure travel. And to be honest, I have been there many times before. But each time I drove to Ladakh, I just felt so inadequate in whatever vehicle I went. I felt कि थोड़ी clearance और होनी चाहिए गाड़ी की, या फिर extra fuel होना चाहिए मेरे पास. One time on an adventure trip to such pass, I got stranded on the roadside. And I said, एक rooftop tent भी होना चाहिए. So this wish list started like this. All my adventure trips that I've been doing for years now, I had this list that my ultimate adventure vehicle needs to have all these things. I'd been driving a Scorpio for many years, and I sort of, as Vivek said, I approached him. I said, what do you think is the best vehicle for me to start the process of customizing this truck? So the team was very kind. They said, we think the Scorpio Getaway will work. And then my friend Jaskirat out there, hello Jaskirat, he started work on it. It took us about 3.5, 4 months to make it look like what it finally looks like, and completely prepare it and make it into a ultimate expedition vehicle. Swati, my friend, had always been asking me, each time I'd post on Twitter about adventure travel or adventure trips, I'm going here, going there, and she'd say, you never take me along. So when this whole, this enterprise was coming together, this collaboration, I called her up, and she's a lawyer. She practices in the Supreme Court. She's a women's rights lawyer. And I asked her, hey Swati, you've been asking me all this while, chalna hai? And she said, I'll call you back in 2 hours. She called me back and she said, 14 days, I'm all yours. And I was, I don't know very many friends that I have who would just, with 2 hours notice, drop everything they have. She has her own practice. So it's not like she has to take leave from somebody and, work will still go on if she's not there. I don't know how work went on. Maybe you'll tell us about it. So Swati joined me, and I think that was a fantastic part, because through her eyes, I was actually able to see this journey all over again, experience it, because a lot of stuff that I've been doing, I've been born into an army family, adventures in my blood, I'm married to somebody who's quite adventurous. So we take adventure for granted. But to see her react to certain situations that I thought were normal actually scared me. So typically, you have a mountain pass that has a path that goes up like this. So you can always take a shortcut which cuts through the road. It's something that I don't even think about when I do normally. But seeing Swati, I began to wonder, am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing this? And seeing her, I don't know, fear, apprehension maybe, I figured that maybe I should be a little careful. So she did bring out the caution in me, which otherwise I would have not been. So let's just say I wouldn't be that cautious. Vivek was very kind. He said that I'm a accomplished off-roader. Thank you very much. I've had a very, very good guru, Tejas Kothari out there, Dr. Tejas Kothari. He's my off-road guru. He's in fact, incidentally, India's only certified from Germany off-road instructor. So a lot of the off-roading tricks that I do, whether it's reversing in ravines or attempting sand dunes, some of them I don't end up mastering, but a lot of what I know today about off-roading is courtesy Tejas. So this trip, Ladakh, well, another secret about Ladakh is I lived there for 2 years. So I had the dubious distinction of studying in the highest school in the world. That's the Kendriya Vidyalaya, yes, the one where the German language as a third language has just been done away with. So I studied in the Kendriya Vidyalaya for 2 years in Leh, and I have very special memories of Leh. And one day I thought I'll come back and I'll see Leh and Ladakh my own way. And the other really interesting thing that we managed to do on this trip was a lot of the areas that we've actually visited were earlier off limits for tourists, because for those of you who read about the kind of permits that are required in Jammu and Kashmir, something called the Inner Line Permit. So as recently as May 2014, the Inner Line Permit requirement for Indian tourists has been done away with. That gave us the opportunity to actually explore the area beyond Pingongso. So Lake Pingongso, everybody knows, we've seen it in 3 Idiots. It's where Amir Khan's school was. But the area beyond Pingongso was something only the defense forces had access to. Of course, we could see it on the map, but we couldn't go there. So that actually is going to be seen for the very first time on camera ever. We went to this basin called the Hanle Basin. We went to some truly unique passes. Of course, we've done the top 3 highest motorable passes. That's Khardungla, Taglangla, Changla. And then we also went to Pola Kongla, which is very off the beaten path, quite high, but it's off the beaten path. You wouldn't normally end up going there. We had some pretty scary adventures, misadventures, and hair-raising experiences. Our best laid plans sometimes just crashed and crumbled in front of us. But I think it was a tremendous learning experience for me as an individual, because I was with somebody who was not my husband or my brother or my father. So I had to actually be nice, because you take your husband and your brother and your father and your mother so much for granted. You say, I don't feel like doing this. I'm hungry now. I want to do this. So Swati actually brought out a very nice, I like to believe, side in me. And to tell you a little bit more about the trip, I'd like to call on stage. Yes, please, Swati. I know you're surprised, but please. And tell us what life is like outside the courtroom, and especially when you go on a trip like this. Yes, please come up. So this is Swati. She's the lady who very kindly agreed to be my my co-traveler, my companion, I think it's on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, this feels very different. Thank you.
She's very soft-spoken, yes.
Thank you so much for coming, all of you. And this trip, as you would have seen in this 4-minute film, and as you will see in the next 3 episodes, was the time of my life. And I'm sure all of you are going to be jealous once you watch it. I never thought I could do what all I ended up doing there. I didn't think I had the capability. So I rediscovered myself in many aspects. I had newfound respect for Gul behind the wheel. Once I came back, I was like, wow. And so that's it. I think thank you.
Wait, I have a question before that. She's very comfortable, obviously, talking to Milord.
Yeah, those are easier to please.
Tell me, what was the scariest moment for you?
Scariest? My scariest, right? So that was when you were making those donuts around me.
That was scary?
She made me stand in the middle and she was just driving around. And it looked so much simpler out there.
But you were actually scared? You thought I'll run you over?
Just in case, So that was the scariest.
The scariest.
The scary. And the marathon was fun. We
both Swati and I are runners, so you can tell us.
We ran the LA marathon. That was, again, we both thought actually, that we might just end up dying at the end of the marathon, but we survived it. And so.
What about the unplanned night that we spent in the middle of nowhere?
So this is, I think, post-midnight?
2 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, we're driving, we're just following lights. There are no roads out there, there's wildlife, and we see a light very far away, and we're like, okay, let's just reach that point. No roads, nothing, you're driving in the middle of the night. Once we reached there, we realized it was a moving vehicle, and what we thought was our destination. And so of course there was, I think we had a booking, but for some reason
we couldn't find the camp.
The camp. And that night we ended up spending the night in the tent on top of the vehicle. So, and of course when we woke up at night, it looked like middle of nowhere, and that's what I was telling us. This is like mission suicide. This is not adventure. I thought adventure is go climb, mountain climbing, do rafting, and of course we did all that as well.
Considering she's water phobic, so I pushed her to go rafting, and she'd never sat in the boat. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's okay.
So yes, I mean Swati's had some quite hair-raising experiences.
I think all of it. Those 14 days, I came back and I respected life all over again. It changed me. I came back as a changed person. I discovered a lot about myself, a lot about my traveler, of course, my co-traveler. And so that's it. Thank you, Mahindra. Thank you, Discovery. And thank you, Gul, for making me live those 14
Thank
days.
you.
I actually lived.
Thanks, Swati. Thank you.